Hi everyone, how are you on this Tuesday? How's everyone doing today? My name is Bess McCarty. I'm founder and coach with the MLM Millionaire Club, School for Network Marketers. And I love coming to you every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Time to share with you some tips for growing your business and in living your life for general. Today, something I'm very passionate about is helping parents to be home with their children. That's what network marketing can do for people. I'm very passionate about this, having had this experience myself and have network marketing helping me to be home with my son when I was raising him. So I love to help parents do this. One aspect of this is that you may not have thought of before, is to help young people to think ahead and plan for a family. Now, I have a few stories about this. Let's see, I'll start with my niece. She and her husband had two sons, age about, I think, 7 and 9 at the time, and they decided to have a third child. So they thought long and hard about this. They decided to go ahead with the third child, and they find out that they are expecting twins. So it was kind of a wonderful and shocking news too. Her husband had 1 week off work that he could be home and help her with them. And you know, you need help because you have 2 other children, and the babies might need to nurse, be changed, be fed, put to sleep. So it can be quite challenging for one person with twins. So her husband got to help her the first week. The second week, I was the only family member that could come in at 6 a.m. when her husband went to work and help her with the twins. So it's pretty wonderful to be able to be an entrepreneur and have your own business and be able to call your own shots when it comes to helping family members. Later on, my niece just did wonderfully. They just, they're the most wonderful parents in the world that I could ever imagine. So they definitely rose to the occasion. Their twins are just precious, precious gems. A year later, very happy, wonderful, loving family. But my niece shared with me early on that she was a little envious of a friend of hers who also just had twins. But she and her husband had developed their network marketing business a ways before that, before they began their family. And because of that, the husband and wife could both be home with the child, with their children, the twins, and they could also afford a nanny. And that would be like heaven to my niece. She just said that sounds like, the ideal situation to have done. And she did know about network marketing earlier on, after her first 2 boys were born, but she did not find the time to develop the business at that time. So welcome, Linda. I'm going to tap here to invite you to join as a guest. Invite Linda to broadcast. Okay. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe you can even too. So, okay, that's one story. And I was reminded of that story when my friend Brian Carruthers mentioned on his Facebook feed. He and his lovely wife have just had a newborn boy. And he mentioned on there that he is so glad that he has his network marketing business well established, of course, for years. He's a top earner in his company. And he's so glad that he can just stay home and hang out with his child and all that he wants to. And that reminded me of another friend who recently also had a baby and is not in network marketing. And it was hard for him to go back to work. And he said, the reason I have to go to work is the reason that I don't want to go to work. So he could be home with his child. So it's, then I thought, well, what if, okay, another story for you. A young man that I coached with network marketing to great successful results, shared with me that he was in his early 20s at that time, and he was sharing with me that one of his goals was to have a family and to establish his network marketing business to a really wonderful level. And one of his goals was to prepare for a family. So I thought that was very, very foresightful, and began thinking maybe we can spread the word to network marketers to think of young people. And whether or not they're thinking of starting a family soon, wouldn't it be wonderful if they could plan ahead and have this all in place in time for their family? What if we could help them to think ahead? Maybe some of them haven't, as far as this young man that I was speaking about. He's a very foresightful young man, of course, and a lot of young people may not occur to them. So what if as network marketers or network marketing advocates like I am, of course I used to be in a company, but I'm not now, I'm just dedicated to coaching. And I used to be full-time with it, actually, which helped me to stay home with my son. So I really appreciate this profession and this business of network marketing. So what if we could encourage young people to plan ahead? For example, we could say to them, do you plan to have a family? And how do you plan to, have you thought about the finances of that, how that would work? And what if I could show you a way that both parents could be home with the children and not have to worry about money, and even be a role model for the children, an example of how to do business, and perhaps even involve the family in the business? Would you like to hear about this? I just think that is so awesome. Here's another story. If you are a parent who already has children and you're hearing this, and you're not in network marketing, don't worry. You can still develop a business. And children don't need to be a reason to not do the business. They might be a reason to do it. And a lot of people are motivated by their family and by their children and their desire to be home with them. One network marketer posted on my page, I used to cry on my way to work. I missed my 10-month-old baby. And she wrote this from Hong Kong. She says, so many people in Hong Kong, both the husband and the wife work. There's a lack of family values. And of course, much needed network marketing can solve all of that. You know, you can say to a mother or a father, how would you like to never have to say goodbye to your children in the morning again, or leave them in the care of someone else? Or even do homeschooling if you choose, like my son and I did. You could have that option. How would you like to have that option, that freedom to do that? So those are some of the ways we can talk to network marketers. A story that I just happened to read this morning that fits with this is Mia and Rosanno McGee had sextuplets. They had 6 babies at once. And this was after 10 years of trying to start a family unsuccessfully. And they finally used a fertility drug and ended up having 6 babies all at once. My niece should hear this, huh? She might feel not so alone with the effort that it took. But Rosanno had a carpet and upholstery cleaning business, so he kept that. But Mia quit her job to be home with the babies, of course, and they wondered, how are we going to afford our sudden big family? Well, they're a very loving couple, and they put love first, and they said no matter what, love was going to be the foundation of our family and how we're going to raise them. So to express that love, they took a photo of the 6 naked babies curled up on the husband's back with the mother sitting behind him. That photo was so beautiful, it went viral. It got the attention of Oprah, who had them on their show, and gave them quite a financial boost. And a lot of other people also wanted to contribute. That moved them so much, and they wanted to help. So they got a lot of help in many ways. The McGees ended up having their own reality show about how they dealt with this. And also Rosanno's business expanded. And what he said, this is the important part, he said, you'd be surprised what sextuplets can do for you. They really motivated me. And that's what can happen in your network marketing business too. You can use that. I happen to love their story because they did not say, "Oh, we can't do this." They just said love will find a way. In essence, love will find a way, and it did. It drew people to help. They have their own TV show, and I think they're all thriving and doing just wonderfully. They're all doing great. So if you already have children, my message with that is don't despair. You can still start your network marketing business, and many, many parents have. How would you like, you could say to them, how would you like to be home with your children? And then, how would you like to retire your husband so he can be home too? If you know parents who are able to stay in with their children through network marketing, then tell that story. Collect stories and try to tell the one that matches closest to the person that you're talking to. It will inspire them too. So I hope this helps. Is there something that you have learned from this video today that you can take away and use in your business? I hope so. Perhaps you can have a look out for young people. They might, I think they need to know their options, young people. These young people might be in school needing to pay off a student loan, or they might benefit from thinking ahead with your idea about how to plan for family in the future. So let's think of young people. They're some of our superstars in network marketing, and very grateful for them. Okay, I'm not sure. There's comments. I think I pushed something and I can't see all the viewers. Whoops. Not sure. I did something different with the controls, but thank you all for joining today, and thanks to those who have given love and shared the video. Really appreciate that. And remember that I have a free workshop for your team, how to always get a yes. Just private message me on Facebook and we'll set one up for you too. Okay, everybody take care and see you next time. Bye-bye.